Grace and Ada approach Watson's workspace and enter. Grace and Ada take a look around. Wow, it's really spooky in here, too. What's with AIs and creepy workspaces? AI workspace standards often differ from humans. Unlike you, we do not get priority on items such as windows. No sign of Watson. There must be something that can lead us in his direction. Many of Watson's designs seem to be centered on animals. He has been banned from multiple biolabs because of his past actions. Oh dear. Watson's fascination with large predators has been a source of alarm for many a noosphere researcher. Out of all his doodles, this is perhaps the most literal, combining the ideas of a binary search tree into a tree made out of binary. That's clever! With Blue's preferred avatar being a cat, there is some speculation that this sketch was inspired by her treatment of her human workers. A safe where Watson has his secretary store important data drives. The network which most scientists and AIs use to store data is relatively secure. However, Watson's fascination with old human culture has led him to request a safe to store things in. That's cute. Here we are, Watson's safe. And I thought your storage methods were archaic. This lock looks like it is actually mechanical. That blows us right out of the water. You think he has a key somewhere? If he does, it will take us too long to find it. I refuse to believe that this safe is completely off the grid. Maybe it's on his network. It might be. Ada closes her eyes for a moment. I am routing it to your bracelet interface. You should be able to try cracking it now. If Watson ever gets an android body, I'm going to strangle him. I do not think attempting to strangle a metal alloy body will succeed. Don't give me your logic, Sass! That little trickster had a ridiculous level of encryption for the lock on this safe. I managed to circumvent it eventually, but seriously, why, Watson? An inconspicuous data drive. Although most scientists use the same generic drives for storing data, it's impossible to tell what this one might contain. Another data drive? It's identical to the one Alpha had on him. This means this is another piece of sweet, sweet evidence. Compared to your previous displays of relief, I am reading a sharp spike in your emotional state. Oh, honestly, the only thing that would make this better would be if the drive had a fresh cup of coffee sitting next to it as well, and maybe some snacks. Note to self, humans can be placated with food items. Hey, I'm only human. Some of us need things like sleep and food for energy. What does it say, Ada? I cannot be sure as of yet. The decryption key we found appears to match this encryption, but I still have to break it down. Okay, I'm waiting on you then. I will try to decrypt it now. With the correct encryption key, this was easy enough to crack. Now we just have to wait for the rest to finish decrypting. This computer seems to be attached to Watson's servers, rather than the noospheres. This setup is so strange. I'm not quite sure how to even power it up. It is meant for remote access by an AI. You cannot start it up physically. Allow me a moment. Allow me a moment. I can interface with the computer now. I will attempt to run a trace on Watson's location. I am tempted to find Watson and stick him in a hard drive and jettison it into space. That seems a bit extreme. Perhaps. I did get around his firewalls and finish my search. However, I expected far more difficulty than anticipated. I think that's supposed to say I experienced far more difficulty than I anticipated. Welcome to the normal state of us mere mortals. I could not locate Watson on any of the devices connected to the network. It seems he is offline somewhere. He couldn't do that by himself. Guess we won't be talking to him right now. Maybe he just needs his own little space away from all of us where he can experiment to his heart's content. Even if Watson received an android body, he would not contain a heart. I know, it's just an expression, Ada. Grace fiddles with her bracelet and sends a message to Alan. Where are you? Need to vent. G. Grace's bracelet flashes. Ding ding. Oxygen garden. Come on over. A. Alright, Alan's in the oxygen garden. Let's go meet him. They wander into the oxygen garden. So exactly how long did you and Alpha know each other? The easiest calculation for you to interpret would probably be 54 years, 7 months, 4 days, 9 hours, 19 minutes, and 32, 33, 34 seconds. Wow, that's a long time. Yes, I suppose to a human it would seem like a long time. He was quite the AI. Definitely the most easygoing of the 5 elder AIs. Myself included. He truly had a fondness for humans. I could sense that. He was always willing to help us whenever we needed. He wanted to work toward a closer-knit society between AIs and humans. However, not everyone is in favor of that. I just hope that his wish wasn't the reason for his downfall. I hope for the same thing. Don't worry, Ada. We'll get to the bottom of this. Grace and Ada arrive at the oxygen garden, where they are greeted by Alan. Well, if it isn't my favorite researcher, how are you? Alan and Grace hug. Ada stands there awkwardly.
6.5 hours later.
It seems like you've had quite the day, you rebel. We were supposed to just wait around for an entire day, only for me to be paraded around as the person at fault? I'm the youngest lead on the project. You know I would be the first one to take the fall. I wouldn't have let it happen, Grace. Wouldn't have been much you could have done about it either. Roberta's gonna flip when she finds out about your antics. That's her problem. If she actually behaved like a mother ought to, I wouldn't have to take such steps. So what are your thoughts on the situation? I don't know, honestly. It's just been disappointing. Someone or something has to be responsible, but every time we think we have some sort of evidence, it's nothing of substance.
Day 2.
It's been a long day. I'm getting impatient. And also, I would love to sleep. Close your eyes for a bit. Nothing more you can do at the moment. Alan turns towards Ada. Ada, how are you feeling about everything? Feeling? Yeah, feeling. Emotion. Do you have any for what's going on? Ada takes a moment to process Alan's question. I feel sorrow for my dead friend. I feel motivation for uncovering his death. I feel the camaraderie between you and Grace when I watch you converse. It reminds me of the conversations that Alpha and I would have. That must be a lot to process. And you're right. I'm not sure if she told you, but Grace and I are pretty good friends. We grew up together. I can sense that, and yes, she also told me. But unlike Alpha and I, you still have each other. It's too bad about Alpha. I met him while working on his body. He seemed like an intelligent and kind AI. Thank you. He was. And thank you for molding this body. It took me some getting used to at first, but now that I understand it better, it is fascinating. My pleasure. I'm so happy you like it. You know, I inquired about getting feedback on the bodies, but I never heard back. Interesting. Well, you are right on track. You only had to make it functional, but you chose to make it rather beautiful. If you do not mind, I am going to go see about these strange little plants over here. Please excuse me.
Eventually.
Ada, what's the status of the data drive? Are you almost finished? Ada pokes her head out from behind some ferns and approaches. Yes, it is nearly there. I calculate approximately 5 minutes left. All right, good work. I guess we should probably head to the conclave and either admit defeat or let them know what we found. The doors to the oxygen garden open, and the investigators burst in. I'm sorry, but you can't just come in here. You need to... Grace Fortran? Yes, and who are you? The investigator surveys Ada. I'm assuming Ada, the AI in physical form. Yes. Excuse you? What exactly can we help you with? You need to come with us. Now. They all walk down the hallway of the oxygen garden. Ada blinks as she processes the decoded data drive. Grace? Yeah? I recommend we stall for time. I have almost finished the decryption. I'll do my best.